Hello everyone, my name is Mila. Welcome back to Alexandrian Archives. So, today we are doing another book haul. I'm very strict about my book buying habits, which is why I don't really need to go on a book buying ban. I receive quite a few books from publishers and stuff, and I just, don't feel the need to overfill my bookshelves as much as I guess a lot of people do. So, however, I'm not resistant to temptation of pretty covers, and books by my favorite authors, for example. Oh my god. And books by my favorite authors, for example. So, this is a book haul of books I've bought, books I bought on a specific day, and books that my boyfriend bought me as well as books that I have received. I will obviously tell you which ones are which so that you know, but once again, most of these have been bought with my money. I have a job, it's just money that I have accumulated. I have saved up a little bit in order to be able to have a little bit of a shopping spree. So I will roughly tell you when this was bought and stuff like that. There is one ARC, I believe, that I don't have with me. I believe it's downstairs. So we're going to start with the books that I bought just to get it out of the way. And we're going to sort this by 2 days. We're going to sort this, 3 days. So we're going to sort them in order because I can tell you which order they were bought in. And then we'll do the publisher books, basically. So, my boyfriend and I still can't believe I get to say that, went on a long planned bookstore date before he had to go 8 hours north for his job. So he kindly bought me 2 out of the 4 books that I got in total. So he bought 2, I bought 2. So we will start with the first 2 books that I got. So the first store where I bought the books was called Sellers in Newell, and this is a second-hand bookstore that specializes in like first editions and signed editions and stuff like that. This is really bothering me. I have to fix this. So, as I said, Sellers in Newell specializes in first edition print and signed books and stuff. So the first book that caught my eye, and it's one that's really difficult to find in Canada, purely because it's an older book, but surprisingly, with like the resurgence of Greek mythology retellings, you'd think that it would be easier to find, and it's The King Must Die by Mary Renault. And this is this stunning edition, and I just love how vintage it looks. And I read about 50 pages of this. It's really good. It's a little bit slow, not gonna lie, but I love this. I really love this. So this is the one I got myself, and as I was walking around and debating, I found this book, which is Selections from Homer's Iliad by Alan Rogers Benner, with a foreword by Mark E. Edwards. So this is essentially a book with text from the Iliad in the ancient Greek, and I believe this is for like schools that require knowledge of Greek, for example, for specific university programs for classical studies. So I thought it would be fun to take this and try and translate a few of the passages as best as I could. There is a notes section in the back. There's also like a glossary and like index and stuff, vocabulary and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been pretty cool to figure out, sort of, to translate bit by bit. I do have the beginning of the vocabulary, I believe, vocabulary and Greek index tab, so I can flip back and forth. So yeah, this is an older book, so it would cost like a lot and it would be very difficult to find. But yeah, there is the notes section online on the Perseus website, I believe it's called. I can link it down below. Which is helpful so that I don't have to keep flipping back and forth for the notes and the translations and the text and stuff. So yeah, selections from Homer and Iliad. That's book 2. Then we went to another bookstore and I got Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Pornek. This is a Slavic author. She's Polish, and this is a Polish/Slavic fantasy akin to Hell's Moving Castle. I need to drink. We're gonna be here a while, so please go get yourself a drink and a snack. I've got my water. So, I'm very excited to get to this. This is the May Book Club pick, so obviously I had to have it. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. Is that not stunning? What? And on her hair too. So this is a fantasy. This follows a girl named Liska who has magic and she lives in this small village, and it's very, like, she's very, you know, ostracized in a sense. So she goes to find this mythical fern flower that blooms only once a year, and she ends up running into the guardian of the wood, the Leshy, I believe it's pronounced. So he's like, okay, I can either let you go and not offer you protection in the forest because he's the guardian of the forest, or you can live with me for 1 year and I will grant you your wish. I will give you the fern flower and I will grant you your wish. So yeah, that's that. Apparently I've seen people cry at the end of this and I'm a little bit scared. I do believe this is a standalone, so I'm very excited. I love it. It's so shiny. That's the book my boyfriend got me. Thank you, boyfriend. Very appreciated. And the one that I got myself is The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wong. This is the, I believe, December book club pick. Everyone and their mothers have been raving about this book, and I've been avoiding it for that exact reason. Also, Book Talk at one point got their grimy little hands on this book, and I was like, do I trust you all enough to behave properly when it comes to this book? I don't know if I do. Apparently this is an amazing fantasy. Apparently it's also standalone, I believe. And I do know the author published this through like Amazon at first and then got insanely popular. And then it got picked up traditionally. This is the Indigo exclusive edition, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, the pages are bent a little bit in the back, which isn't too much of, like, I'm not particularly finicky about my books. That's not too much of a problem for me. I just love this stunning edition. So yeah, so this follows basically 3 characters, I believe. One who's a mom who was a warrior, the second is her son, and the third is, I believe, the father. And there's fantasy. It's like fantasy. I believe it's like sort of China or Japan, so East Asia inspired. So yeah, very excited to read this. The next day is I got 2 books. So the first I got is Orientalism by Edward W. Said, who is a Palestinian author. Rest in peace. He wrote this book ages ago. 25 years after its first publication. I believe it's a little more than 25 years. So this is the new edition with his foreword, with his preface in it, and I got this secondhand, so I got this for like $12, which was a steal because originally the actual price is $23 Canadian, which is insane for a tiny paperback that's the size of my head. This should at least be $15. What do you mean it's $23? What the heck? So yeah, I'm excited to read this. It's a little wordy. It's a little it's a little difficult to get through, but I am excited. I think I will try and find like an audiobook version of it maybe, or like some breakdown online of it to help me read this easier. I'm not, a stranger to difficult texts, given that I'm a classics student, but yeah, excited for this. This was a steal at the secondhand bookstore. Shout out to BMV Books. So, yeah. The next one is one I got from Back of Phoenix Books, which is an independent bookstore in Toronto. I knew I wasn't going to be in Toronto for Independent Bookstore Day, which is today, the 22nd of April. So I decided to support them another day. This is Inana by Emily H. Wilson. It is a retelling, basically, of the myth of Gilgamesh, which includes Inanna, known as Ishtar in the myth, actually, in the original story of Gilgamesh. For those that don't know, Gilgamesh is considered like the world's first hero. He is the Mesopotamian king of Ur, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so we have 3 point of views, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We have Inanna herself, then we have Gilgamesh, and then we have a third character whose name is Ninshabar, who's a powerful warrior woman. So at one point they do converge and stuff, and this cover is so gorgeous. Look at that. Oh my god. If I ever become an author, I can only hope that I have such a gorgeous cover, like as gorgeous as this, because Emily H. Wilson won when it comes to covers, and the cover for Gilgamesh is just as stunning. I cannot wait to see it in person. This is the June book club pick, the new one, that is, because the original June book club pick has been pushed to August for publication date, and I had to choose another. So, Inana by Emily H. Wilson. So, today I went to the bookstore. I did some monetary damage. I have no excuse, really. How will we go about this? So I only got 4 books. Well, in total I got 8 books, but 4 of the books were mine, 3 were my brother's, and 1 for my sister. So these are the books for me. So I guess we'll go from the smallest, maybe the cheapest, to the most expensive, I guess. So we have Frankenstein by the Queen Mary Shelley. Duh. I remember reading this in, I think, 10th grade and not really enjoying it. But I think I just wasn't educated enough and into classic texts enough to appreciate what Mary Shelley did for the science fiction and gothic novel genre. So I'm very excited to read this. This is the Penguin Classics edition. I can't say I love the picture, but I just like the style of the Penguin Classics editions. So, yeah. Frankenstein. The next one is... I'm a little bit scared to get into this sort of space of literature, because I could read it in the original, because I am half Russian. Spoiler, I guess. So we have Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Yes, I said that in Russian. What are you going to do about it? So this is this really cool vintage classics edition. I did debate between this one and like the 20... It was like an anniversary edition. It looked really cool. It had like a phoenix, like a firebird on the front, but I ultimately decided on this one. So I am excited to read this. I've been wanting to get into Russian literature, but I've just been so overwhelmed and so intimidated, because, I feel like everyone would expect me to read it in Russian, but reading in Russian is so difficult for me to just focus. Like, reading, like, I can read easily, but focusing and sitting down and reading will take much longer. So, also, yes, I do have a frozen band-aid because I pinched myself and it started bleeding. So, yeah, excited for this one. The next one is, I'm really excited for this one because I've been seeing this everywhere, but I've been also kind of avoiding it. But I decided to bite the bullet because I saw a TikTok about it, and I am a sucker. I have such a soft spot for character that is different than everyone else. Most of the time they're poor and they just look different to everyone else. Defies all odds and enters into like a military academy, into like an academy, like an elite academy that's run by like the I guess you could say oppressor, by like the higher ups. And I love the story. I don't know what it is, but for example, this is why The Poppy War is one of my favorite books ever. I really love this book. This is also why The Will of the Many is one of my favorite books, because, you know, you just have this, well, in The Will of the Many, he's an orphan, you know, because, well, he's an orphan, but he's also very educated, blah, blah, blah. But in The Poppy War, she's actually an orphan. She defies all odds, and she becomes something much more than anyone expected her to be. So this is To Shape the Dragon's Breath by Monoquill Blackgoose. This is following an indigenous woman who enters a colonizer-run dragon academy and quickly finds herself at odds with the approved way of doing things. Need I say more? I've been wanting to read more books about and by indigenous authors, because I feel strongly about, you know, land back and indigenous people, and in the future, if I can, I do want to be able to help out the best way I can. So yeah, To Shape a Dragon's Breath, I am so excited for this, to see the difference between, you know, the colonizers and the indigenous people, and it's just so exciting. And yeah, so there's this one. And the last of the bought books is a nonfiction, and I don't buy nonfiction very often. I have to fix my glasses. I don't buy nonfiction very often, but as you can see by the title, it's called The Children of Athena, and anything with the name Athena in it, I will buy. So, as you might know, first off, Athena is my favorite goddess. Okay. She doesn't have the best track record, not gonna lie. But I love her. Okay, I adore Athena. And I also have, it's a little bit hard to see, but this is actually an Athenian owl coin necklace. So, way back when, on the Athenian coins, you had the Owl of Athena, and it looks like this. So, I got this necklace because I was like, Athena's my favorite, I have to have it. So, I wear it every day. You see it in practically all my videos. I always wear it when I'm filming videos. So this is the Children of Athena, Greek intellectuals in the Age of Rome, 150 BC to 400 AD. And this basically follows, this is a brilliant, fascinating portrait of the intellectual tradition of Greek writers and thinkers during the Age of Rome. So also this cover, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty stunning. I believe this is various parts of the School of Thought painting. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I know what I'm talking about, I swear. School of Thought paint. School of Athens. close enough. By Raphael, I believe. Yeah, by Raphael. So I will put it up here. So it's just various parts, I believe, of the painting. So, and I really love that painting. If there was another print I would add to the wall, it would be that. So School of Athens. So the fact that this is Children of Athena, I think it's very in character, in line with this. Honestly, yeah. We have praise from Paul Cartledge, author of Thebes, Michael Scott, author of Ancient Worlds and Epic History of East and West, and a few other ones that I don't really know, but very, very excited to slowly get into this. So yeah, Children of Athena. So the next two books are, I believe it's just the two. Oh wait, I have the third one downstairs, I believe. So the third book, the first of the received book from the publisher, thank you Orbit, you guys are amazing, is Prayers to the Merciful Deep, I believe, if I am not mistaken. Let me just double check. By Leslie Penelope. I will put the cover up here. I got an arc of it. I completely forgot that I requested it, so it was a nice surprise. And so I don't remember. So I'm just gonna read off my laptop because I don't have it. Jane Edwards hasn't spoken since she was 11 years old, when armed rioters expelled her family from their hometown along with every other black resident. Now, 12 years later, she has found a haven in the all-black town of Awanasa. But the construction of a dam promises to wash her home under the waters of the new lake. Jane will do anything to save the community that sheltered her. So when a man with uncanny abilities arrives in town asking strange questions, she wonders if he might be the key. But as the stranger hints at gods and ancestral magic, Jane is captivated by a bigger mystery. She knows this man. Only the last time she saw him, he was dead, his body laid to rest in a rushing river. Who is this stranger, and what is he really doing in Awanasa? To find those answers, Jane will journey into a sunken world, a land of capricious gods and unsung myths of salvation and dreams made real. But the flood waters are rising. To gain the miracles she desires, Jane will have to find her voice again and finally face the trauma of the past. This is the same author as... Is it not? I thought it was. Hold on a second. As Song of Blood and Stone, which is the Earthsinger Chronicles. But she goes by Penelope for those. So I'm guessing this is adult versus YA kind of thing, just like how V. Schwab was doing it, I believe. So that's that. And the last two books I got was The Sword Defined by Gareth Hanrahan and The Sword Unbound by the same author. This is book 1 and 2 in the Lands of the Firstborn, I want to say trilogy. I don't know if it's duology. I'm guessing. This looks like a trilogy, not gonna lie, because usually it says sequel in the second book. So, I completely forgot I requested this too. So we're going to read the synopsis from the first book. Set in a world of dark myth and dangerous prophecy, The Sword Defined launches an epic tale of legendary warriors, living weapons, and bloodthirsty vengeance. Many years ago, Sir Alfric and his 9 companions saved the world, seizing the Dark Lord's cursed weapon along with his dread city of Necrad. That was the easy part. This is giving Lord of the Rings. Now when Alfric, keeper of the cursed sword Spellbreaker, learns of a new and terrifying threat, he seeks the 9 heroes once again. But they are wandering adventurers no longer. Yesterday's eager heroes are today's wary leaders, and some have turned to darkness, becoming monsters themselves. If there's one thing Alfric knows, it's slaying monsters, even if they used to be his friends. So, This is interesting. It's a thick boy. I may read it in a vlog, you know what? Why not? Thank you, Orbit, for sending this to me. So that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I will see you next time. Happy reading!